Okay, so this is just a quick follow-up video on a very wet and dreary day to the last one I posted, where I tried to do this horrible expression here. It's a bit of an ungainly expression. It's not horrible, it's just ungainly. Tried to do it on a sort of math print style algebraic and then four stack RPN. So this is it. On NSTK, where you've got as much as you like, as you get with the RPL machines, and on 342 and the DM42, and it's far more elegant. So let's just let's go through it. So 0.72, so that's our present value, and then we will calculate our interest rate, which is 10% divided by 60. So you have to press enter twice here, unlike on 4-stack, to get it duplicated in X and Y, times. And there we've got N. As you remember, we wanted to hang on to an extra N because that comes up later. So duplicate that and roll it down, divide it, and we'll get our interest rate, our periodic interest rate. We also need another one of these, so duplicate that and roll it down, and then we've got our present value, that's our interest rate, so the formula is that we times those together. Good. And then we need the interest rate next, so we've got that there, we add 1 to it, and then I need N, so what I'm going to do is roll down N there, and we've got N there, and we've got the 1 plus the interest rate there, which looks like 1. Invert that, power, and we've got that bit. Then we want to subtract that from 1. There we are, and then divide it. And that is really far easier and far more elegant on NSTK for that particular problem. I like the way you only get left with the answer as well, if you've done it well. So another approach on the math print style one is to pre-calculate some of the values and put it into an expression. So let's calculate N. Now you have to hit exe here before you can store it. I really don't like the way you store things on this calculator. You have to go, and you can see I've done this already, so I store it there into A, and then you're going to work out the interest rate, so divide that by answer, and then hit there. And actually I got really confused because I went down to this one, I didn't notice that this one was actually C and not B, but that's all right. There we go. And then we've got our present value, 72. Going to times it by a fraction, and at the top is I, which is, I was in C, wasn't it? And in the bottom we've got 1 minus bracket 1 plus, and we got I again. And that's to the power of minus N minus, and that is in A, isn't it? There we go, and that's a lot clearer. Hopefully I've got the right, yeah, it's the right answer. Yeah, so you can see not quite the whole expression, but most of it. The other one that is fun to have a look at is the one-line display. You can see I've already tried this one. Now this one's quite funny in a way, because most one-line displays you only, you get to scroll along it like on most sort of scientific Casios, but these graphing calculators just go on to the next line. So this is it still looks horrible though. Oops, I did not mean to do that. Where's backspace? Yeah. Times 60 times 24 times 365. Oh no, what have I done? There we go. Oh, it's not backspace, it's actual delete, isn't it? So that's the numerator. That's 2 brackets, isn't it? Divided by 1 minus 1 plus brackets, and then we've got our interest rate again divided by 60 times. Oh, hitting the wrong. These are all up a bit, which I find a bit confusing. It's like they're pushed up. There we go. Okay, so we know that's 3 brackets because I've done this so many times, to the power of alright, that should be right, but it looks horrible, doesn't it? Yep, but that is the answer. And then if we go back in time even further, we've got our annunciator style algebraics, which are actually my favourite algebraic. And actually this one is very good, actually. I'll show you why. So we do what we normally do, going to multiply that. So do our numerator first, open brackets, 0.1 divided by brackets 60 times 60 times 24 times 365, close brackets. And then if we close brackets again, that should give us our interest rate. Yep. Now we can close the bracket again and divide that all by the denominator. So open brackets 1 minus open brackets 1 plus open brackets 0.1 divided by open brackets 60 times 365 times 24, close bracket. Now, so how many brackets do we need? Well, actually it gives you the intermediate results, so it becomes quite obvious. So this is n, that's the interest rate, and that is 1 plus the interest rate. And so we know that that one needs to go to the power of, open brackets again, let's do minus 60 times 24 times 365, close brackets. I think if we hit equals, that should be everything. Yep. So yeah, that might be my favourite algebraic. I've got an even older algebraic that I might take out and have a look at, which has only got, it's got chain calculations, no sort of BODMAS or PEMDAS, and no brackets, and only 1 storage register. And actually that one's really quite difficult to do this on. Maybe I'll do another follow-up video comparing the accuracies of all of these compared to their TVM counterparts. Okay, that's it.